The Young and the Restless spoilers. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful Thursday, but honestly, things in Genoa City are absolutely falling apart in the most spectacular way possible. We have got to talk about the massive, earth-shattering spoilers that just dropped, and I am still trying to wrap my head around it. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's just dive right into the absolute madness. And let me just start by saying, we all knew Victoria Newman and Kyle Abbott were playing with fire. I mean, we saw the sparks, we saw the secret conversations, we saw them getting way too close over the last few weeks. But honestly, did any of us actually think they would go this far? Let's be real. Kyle is Jack Abbott's son. He is the heir to the Abbott legacy. And Victoria is Victor Newman's golden child. The absolute apple of his eye, the one who is supposed to protect the Newman empire at all costs. But lately, they've been crossing boundaries. Kyle has been trauma dumping on Victoria about his parents, about Jack being stabbed, about Diane being kidnapped by that creepy doctor, Markham, and about how much he absolutely hates Victor for his role in all of this. And Victoria? Instead of defending her dad like she usually does, she's been listening, she's been leaning in, she's been comforting Kyle. And well, one thing led to another, and they ended up in bed together, which is messy enough on its own. But guys, the writers didn't just stop at a secret hookup. Oh no, they went full soap opera nuclear. So here is the massive bombshell. Victoria Newman is pregnant. Yes, you heard me right. She took a pregnancy test, and it came back positive. And the baby is Kyle Abbott's. I can't even begin to process how chaotic this is. First of all, Victoria is at a point in her life where she probably thought she was done having kids. She's a high-powered CEO, she's dealing with her adult daughter Claire, she's trying to keep the peace between Victor and Nikki, and now she is staring down at two pink lines on a plastic stick. Just imagine the absolute sheer panic running through her veins in that moment. She's pregnant with an Abbott. Not just any Abbott, but Kyle. The guy who was married to her niece, Summer. The guy who has been actively plotting against her father. It is a disaster of epic proportions. And you have to wonder what was going through her head. Was she crying? Was she pacing the room? I can just picture her staring at herself in the mirror, completely horrified, wondering how she is going to hide this from the world. But of course, because this is The Young and the Restless, nobody knows how to hide anything properly. I mean, honestly, what is it with these highly intelligent billionaire business executives being so incredibly careless? You would think a woman as smart as Victoria Newman would take that pregnancy test, put it in a hazmat bag, drive 3 towns over, and throw it in a dumpster behind a gas station. But no. She leaves the test, or the medical confirmation papers. However, it exactly plays out right there in her office. In her office, at Newman Enterprises. The one place where her father literally roams the halls like a shark looking for blood. It is so frustrating to watch sometimes, but I guess if they were smart, we wouldn't have a show. So she leaves the evidence in her office, probably thinking she locked the door or hid it under a file. But come on, this is Victor Newman we are talking about. He probably has X-ray vision when it comes to his kids' secrets. And that brings us to the moment that is going to go down in Y&R history. Victor walks into Victoria's office. Maybe he's looking for a quarterly report. Maybe he's just coming in to demand that she fire someone. Who knows? But he finds it. He finds the pregnancy test, or the paper confirming it, and he puts 2 and 2 together. Now, Victor is not a stupid man. He knows Victoria has been spending time with Kyle. He has eyes everywhere. And when he realizes that his daughter, his CEO, the woman he trusts to run his empire, is pregnant with an Abbott baby, oh my god, the rage. You can just imagine the mustache twitching, the vein popping out of his forehead. Victor has hated the Abbotts for decades. He hates Jack, he hates Kyle, he hates everything they stand for. And the thought of an Abbott heir having Newman blood, or a Newman heir having Abbott blood, it is his absolute worst nightmare come to life. So Victoria walks back into her office, completely oblivious, and there is Victor, holding the evidence, and he just erupts. I mean, we have seen Victor mad before. We saw him mad when he found out Sally Spectra sold Newman Media to Adam. We saw him mad when Nick went off the rails. But this is a whole different level of fury. He doesn't just yell, he explodes. He is screaming at her, asking her how she could be so stupid, how she could betray the family like this. You slept with the enemy, Victoria. You are carrying the child of an Abbott. You can just hear the iconic Eric Braeden delivery right now. He is absolutely disgusted. And Victoria, for her part, is probably terrified. She has spent her whole life trying to earn his approval, trying to be the good daughter, the one who doesn't mess up like Adam or Nick. and now she has committed the ultimate sin in Victor's eyes. But Victor doesn't just stop at yelling. Oh no, he goes straight for the jugular, because that is what Victor Newman does. He threatens her. He tells her that if she does not end this relationship with Kyle immediately, if she does not fix this problem, he will strip her of everything. He threatens to take away her title as CEO. He threatens to kick her out of Newman Enterprises entirely. And worse, he threatens to banish her from the family. He tells her she will be dead to him. And honestly, it's so brutal. I know Victor is ruthless, but threatening to disown your pregnant daughter because you don't like the baby daddy? It's cold, even for him. But then again, maybe I'm being too harsh. I mean, Kyle did just make a secret deal in jail with Patty Williams to get revenge on Victor. Kyle is actively trying to destroy Victor. So from Victor's perspective, Victoria is literally sleeping with a man who is trying to ruin their family. It's a massive conflict of interest. And you have to wonder how Victoria defends herself here. Does she scream back? Does she tell him it's her body, her life, her choice? I hope she does. I hope she stands her ground and tells him that he doesn't get to dictate who she loves or who she has a child with. But let's be real. Victoria usually crumbles when Victor goes full dictator mode. She is probably crying, begging him to understand, trying to explain that it just happened, that she didn't mean to get pregnant. She's been under so much stress lately, acting as the peacemaker between Victor and Nikki, dealing with Claire's drama, dealing with the whole Matt Clark situation, and Nick being in rehab. She just wanted an escape, and Kyle was there. But Victor doesn't care about excuses. He only cares about loyalty. And in this moment, he sees Victoria as a traitor. And then, the tension just peaks. The screaming match gets so intense, so incredibly heated, that the unthinkable happens. Right there, in the middle of the office, in the middle of this horrific fight, Victor suddenly stops. He clutches his chest. His face goes pale. The anger in his eyes is replaced by sudden, agonizing pain. He collapses. Victor Newman has a heart attack right in front of Victoria. It is a terrifying, heart-stopping moment. 1 second he is threatening to destroy her life, and the next second he is fighting for his own. And the sheer panic that must wash over Victoria in that moment, I can't even imagine. She goes from being defensive and scared of his wrath to being absolutely petrified that her father is dying. Victoria rushes to his side, screaming for help, screaming for someone to call 911. And the guilt. Oh my God. The guilt is going to eat her alive. She is going to think that she caused this. She is going to believe that her secret, her pregnancy, her mistake with Kyle, is the reason her father is lying on the floor clutching his heart. If Victor dies, or if he is severely incapacitated, Victoria will never, ever forgive herself. She will carry that burden for the rest of her life. And honestly, it's such a tragic twist, because no matter how awful Victor is to his kids, no matter how much he manipulates them and controls them, they still love him. Victoria loves her dad. She has dedicated her entire life to making him proud. And now, the last thing he said to her before collapsing was that she was a traitor and a disgrace. That is going to mess her up psychologically for a very long time. But this isn't just a family crisis. This is the potential collapse of an entire empire. Think about it. Newman Enterprises relies on Victor. Yes, Victoria is the CEO, but Victor is the puppet master. He is the one pulling the strings. If Victor is out of commission, recovering from a massive heart attack, the sharks are going to start circling. The board of directors will panic. The stock prices will plummet. And who is going to step up to run things? Victoria is going to be an absolute emotional wreck. She is pregnant. She is dealing with the guilt of causing her father's heart attack. And she might be banished from the company anyway based on Victor's last orders. So who takes over? Nick is currently completely off the rails, fighting his own demons and having literal fentanyl nightmares after leaving rehab. He is in no shape to run a lemonade stand, let alone a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. So that leaves Adam. Adam Newman, the black sheep, the one Victor just found out secretly bought Newman Media thanks to Sally and Billy's mess. Would Adam step up and seize control of the entire company while his father is in a hospital bed? Absolutely. But would Victoria let him? It's going to be a bloodbath in the boardroom. The siblings are going to tear each other apart, and all while their father is fighting for his life. It is the perfect storm of corporate and family chaos, and honestly, the writers are giving us pure gold right now. And we have to talk about Nikki. Poor Nikki. She just got her eyesight back. She just had her bandages removed. She and Victor just agreed to a fresh start. They are planning a romantic trip to Venice. They are planning a vow renewal. She was finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel after all the trauma with Patty Williams and Jack. And now she's going to get a phone call that her husband is in the hospital with a massive heart attack. And when she finds out why, when she finds out that Victor collapsed because he was screaming at Victoria about being pregnant with Kyle Abbott's baby, Nikki is going to lose her mind. She might actually turn on Victoria too. Nikki hates the Abbotts almost as much as Victor does, especially after the whole Diane and Jack mess. Victoria is going to be completely isolated from her parents. And what about Kyle in all of this? Where is he while Victoria is watching her father nearly die? Does he even know she took the test? Does he know he's going to be a father again? Kyle has been so focused on his revenge against Victor, so focused on his anger over his parents being targeted, that this pregnancy is going to hit him like a freight train. Part of me thinks Kyle might actually be happy, not because he wants a baby, but because he knows how much this will destroy Victor. It is the ultimate victory for an Abbott to infiltrate the Newman bloodline like this. But then again, maybe I'm not giving Kyle enough credit. Maybe he actually cares about Victoria. Maybe seeing the fallout, seeing Victor in the hospital, and Victoria crying her eyes out, will make him realize that his revenge has gone too far. And can we just imagine Jack and Diane's reaction to this? Diane has been missing. She was kidnapped. She is traumatized. She is dealing with Patty Williams blackmailing Jack for sex. The Abbott house is already a complete and utter disaster zone. And now Kyle is going to walk in and announce that he knocked up Victoria Newman. Jack might just have a heart attack of his own. Jack and Victor's rivalry is legendary, and their children having a baby together is going to tie these two warring families together forever. There is no escaping it. Summer is going to be absolutely furious. Her ex-husband is having a baby with her aunt. The family tree is basically a wreath at this point. It is so messy, so incredibly messy, and the fans on social media are going to absolutely riot. And I keep thinking about Claire. Claire Newman has been through hell and back. She finally found a place in the Newman family. She finally felt accepted by Victoria and Victor. And now her mother is pregnant by Kyle Abbott. The guy Claire has been furiously warning to stay away from her grandfather. Claire knows Kyle is dangerous right now. She knows he is plotting against Victor. And now she has to accept him as her mother's baby daddy? Claire might actually snap. She might view Victoria's pregnancy as a betrayal of everything the Newmans stand for. The dynamic between Victoria and Claire is going to be so strained. Victoria is going to need her daughter's support, but Claire might just turn her back on her. Sometimes you have to zoom out and look at the bigger pattern here. The show loves to use pregnancies as a weapon. They did it with Sally, they did it with Mariah, and now they are doing it with Victoria. But this storyline feels different because the stakes are so incredibly high. We aren't just talking about a couple breaking up, we are talking about the potential death of the patriarch of the show. Victor Newman is Y&R. If he is incapacitated, the entire power structure of Genoa City shifts. Everyone will be scrambling for power. Billy and Kane are over at Chancellor trying to play nice, but they will absolutely use Newman's weakness to their advantage. Adam will make his move. The Abbotts will make their move. It is going to be an all-out war, and Victoria is going to be right in the center of it, carrying the child that started it all. Who actually believes this is going to end well? Nobody. There is no happy ending here. Even if Victor survives, which he probably will because he is Victor freaking Newman and he is practically immortal, he is never going to forgive Victoria for this. He will hold this over her head for the rest of her life. He will try to control the child. He will try to push Kyle out of the picture. He will make Victoria's life a living hell. And Victoria is going to have to make a choice. Does she submit to her father's control once again out of guilt for causing his heart attack? Or does she finally break free, stand by Kyle, and raise her child away from the toxic Newman influence? I honestly don't know what she will do. She has always been Victor's puppet in the end. But a baby changes things. It changes your priorities. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. This is the kind of soap opera storytelling that keeps us glued to the screen year after year. It is chaotic. It is emotional. It is deeply flawed, but we love it. I am honestly a bit tired just thinking about all the fallout we are going to have to cover in the next few weeks. The hospital scenes, the corporate backstabbing, the family screaming matches. It's going to be a lot, but I wouldn't miss it for the world. We are watching the potential fall of the Newman Empire, triggered by a single plastic stick in a CEO's office. You really can't write this stuff any better. So, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Is Victor going to survive? Is Victoria going to lose her job? Is Kyle going to step up or run away? I need to hear all your theories because my brain is officially fried from trying to process this. I'm going to go get some sleep, or at least try to, before the next batch of spoilers drops and ruins my life all over again. Thanks for reading. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next update. Buckle up, Genoa City, because the storm is just getting started.